What's going on? Welcome back to the Moair Podcast. Today's guest is David Wykoff. He's a Kansas pilot. He flies recreationally, and he started a YouTube channel to find more friends to fly with and kind of just share his love of aviation with us, which inspired a lot of people to get into aviation themselves, and it's great entertainment. All right, David, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I'm David Wykoff. I live in the very southeast corner of Kansas, right by Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas, right in the corner. And just a GA, low hour GA pilot that, like you said, started a YouTube channel just to kind of get some buddies to fly with. Now that we have a really good group here in southeast Kansas, Arkansas, Missouri, there's actually people from all over, but it's a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying it.
That's awesome, man. So we'll get into what you got going on that kind of brings people together here in a little bit. But let's start off with you're a banker, correct?
I am, yeah. Family-owned bank, Labette Bank. Grandfather, my dad's dad, back in the 50s and 60s, and then my dad bought him out in 78, and then he's grown it in. We have 9 branches all over southeast Kansas now, and I'm managing one of them, my brother the other one, and it's a family business, a lot of fun, so I take a lot of pride in it.
That's really awesome. Yeah. Have you ever wanted to make aviation a career, or was banking something that you always kind of felt drawn to since it was a family thing?
I was a project manager. I was in construction down in Houston for about 20 years, and I went to get my flight ratings in 2008. And halfway through my flight training, I had just finished my multi-engine training, and I was almost finished with my instrument. And that's when the economy just tanked, and then
Yeah, it was terrible.
thousands of pilots, airline pilots, were getting laid off left and right. And I'm like, well, there's no way I can get a 1,500 hour airline pilot job now with all these guys getting laid off with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 hours. So I went into banking after that.
Yeah, that's definitely not the best time to get in. So I think
No,
you
yeah,
made the best choice there, because look at you having fun now.
yeah, I did. I'm having fun now, and I love my job, and I love just flying for fun, which is what I'm doing now. I enjoy it.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. So your love of aviation, if I remember correctly from listening to the Backcountry Aviation Radio podcast, which is fantastic. If you haven't listened to it, give it a listen. JB's a good dude. But if I remember correctly, you started out with your grandpa flying crop dusters. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. So in Miami, Oklahoma, which is just right down the road from where I live now, kind of where I grew up as well. My mom's dad, yeah, he was a crop duster. He had 2 Weatherlies. He flew one, another guy flew another one, and so I grew up literally just flying on his lap, holding a heading. If we weren't spraying poison, flying all the way down to Arkansas, wherever we were going to go spray. And then when he would get ready to spray the field, he would put me in this little map holder right next to him, and I'd have my motorcycle helmet on, no seatbelt, and I'd be hanging on to the airframe right here. And boy, the FAA would have loved that if they would have seen it. But yeah, we'd go spray fields as long as he wasn't spraying poison. And then when I got too big to kind of ride in there, it was one seat. I would just help kind of load and hook everything up on the crop duster, and I kind of traveled around with them, and that's how I grew up. And it was just a great upbringing of just being around airplanes and aviation constantly.
That's wild, man. Yeah. It's a different time back then, wasn't it?
It really was. It really was. I had a little Yamaha Weisinger motorcycle. I'd be riding it all around on the ramp. He'd just say, "Don't go on the runway," but all of his buddies just laughed. They thought it was funny, and yeah, great way to grow up.
That's awesome, dude. When did you actually get into aviation as like something that you were doing? Were you an adult? Were you still in high
I
school?
was. I was in my 30s. I was like 32. It was in 2008. I started taking flying lessons. I got my private, my multi, and I was just gonna go full on, go to the airlines, and that's when the economy tanked. But
Yeah.
I always wanted to do it before then. I don't know why I never did, but that was a good time to do it, and I started doing it there down in Houston at local airport up north of Houston. in Tomball, Texas, and that's how I got it.
Man, Texas would be awesome. They've got good weather all year round for the most part. A little windy
It
in some
was
places.
it was a good place to learn. A little stressful, controlled tower. So you learn everything. It's like drinking from a fire hose, But it was a
Yeah.
good way to learn. I'm glad I did it down there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And did you do like 61 or 141?
141. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome, man. So I went through a 141 program as well at UCM here in Missouri. And I was like you, I was going to do commercial aviation. And then life had some different choices for me there.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford it anymore. So I'm slowly getting back into aviation myself. And
Good for
that's,
you.
that's, that's awesome that you made it to where you're at. And, you own your own plane, you own your own runway. That's really cool.
Yeah. It's neat. I'm really fortunate that I'm in the position where I am now to be able to do it.
I bet, little you sitting in that crop duster looking at you now would be happy, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He would be. Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
actually the guy that used to fly for my granddad, his name's Greg Epperson. My granddad sold Midland Flyers to Greg. He was just a young kid. And sometimes I would fly with him, and whenever they're crop dusting out of Pittsburgh here, I'll pull in there and see him, and he'll tell stories about me. He used to flying on his lap, and he'd always say I'd be too low. He'd say, "David, get up, you're too low." It's funny to hear all the stories about me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
why I like flying low now.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
That must be where I got it.
It's in the DNA now.
That's right. Yeah, I can't get it out of me.
That's awesome, man. So you started later in life. How long after you started and got your license did you buy your first airplane?
So, I got, like I said, in 2008, my private and my multi, and I was working on my instrument, and then that's when everything happened. So I just put flying on hold for many, many years, probably 15 years. And that's when I moved back to Kansas and went into banking. It was in 2018. And I'll never forget, I just randomly clicked on the YouTube app. This was before I even watched YouTube. Now it's all I watch. But I just randomly clicked on the YouTube app, and I'm just scrolling, and I see this yellow airplane, this guy, Jonas Marcinko, flying it and landing out in these roads and fields and having fun. His girlfriend's with him, and I was just addicted, and I was hooked again. I just like that. And I've watched airspaces. I kind of relearned everything that I learned back in 2008. Now they had all these tools on YouTube now that they didn't have back in '08.
Right.
And so like every evening and every weekend, my buddies would give me a hard time. Hey, you going to come hang out? Or you going to watch flying videos all weekend? I'm like, I'm probably going to watch flying. But that's kind of how I got back into it. And then that's when my dad actually found that little Cessna up in Parsons, which is local. And I bought that little Cessna and started doing my time building. Great little airplane. And then I went into the Kitfox.
That's awesome. So I know you said that they had all these new tools on YouTube that they didn't have back in '08. In '08, you were probably watching the old King videos, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I was watching.
Yeah.
You're right. Absolutely. That's all we had back then.
I know.
And
I watched so many of those.
yeah, I did too. And that's why I got so addicted to all of the stuff now, because of the images, learning. It was so much easier the way that they do on YouTube now, the visualizations, and it was definitely a lot easier. So I kind of re-picked everything back up.
I watch YouTube videos all the time, and they put like little moving airplanes on the map with your instruments over here. It's so much easier to understand now.
Yes, It is. I agree.
That's awesome, though. I'm glad I'm not the only nerd that just sits there and watches aviation videos for information and learning.
No, you had another one right here.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think there's a lot more of us out there than we think.
I think so too. So too. I'm proud of it.
And me too. So your first airplane was a Cessna 150. It got you, flying around. What was your longest trip you took in the 150?
From here, really probably out to Wichita, down to Arkansas a couple of times. Not very far, just within a couple of hours. That's about it. And then I saw that it was about a year and a half later. I'd always wanted a Kitfox, but I saw that Lenny Fox sitting out at the airport, and I Googled the tail number, and I looked the guy up on Facebook, and he met me out at the airport to show it to me, and he took me flying in it. And he said, I may be selling it here in a few months. I said, well, let me know. And it just happened to work out where he was selling it. So I was able to buy it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Kind
Right
of
place
fell
and
into
right
that one.
time.
Yeah.
I did.
That Kitfox has been awesome for you. I know you had a couple scares in it, but all the fun stuff and the awesome videos you made in that Kitfox, I'm sure you had a lot more flying than what you put online. But man, you've been hunting in that thing, you've been fishing in that thing, you've been out to just visit family and friends down in Texas and drop off some salsa, which is awesome that you get to say you did that in a Kitfox. Uh, what is one of the most memorable flights you had in your Kitfox, other than the terrifying ones?
Yeah, those would definitely be the most memorable. No, I really enjoy the flying over the farm and hunting and kind of incorporating that into my videos. It just makes it more fun, especially the fishing. I'm a big time fisherman. And so that would be the most memorable, is going somewhere and going fishing. And I have a big trip coming up this next weekend. I'm meeting a buddy down in Arkansas in Gaston's, and I'm going to try to do a little fishing down there while we go flying and hit the backcountry strips down there.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, whenever you got that Kitfox, how many hours do you think you put on it before you hit your first Sandbar?
I bet I had it for about a year before I did that.
Yeah.
I did. I probably had 35 hours on it before I got the nerve. And then, my buddy Brandon Rice, we hit that big, long gravel bar down there. It's a nice long one, for the first time. And, it was pretty easy. So that's kind of the go-to one we'd go to all the time.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that sounds kind of scary. I know I've done off airport landings as well, but not on something like that where you have nothing if you mess up.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, luckily this one was pretty long, but I've seen some of the sandbars that a lot of these guys land on, and I don't know, they're pretty short. Might need a little more practice.
Nah, man, I've watched your videos. I'd trust you to land me on a sandbar somewhere.
I appreciate it. It's
Yeah.
fun.
So, and then you also upgraded like tires and some other stuff on the Kitfox as
I
well.
did so much to that Kitfox. I did. Yeah. Landing gear, tires, wheels, brakes, ADSB, GPS. I did a lot of stuff. The big bore kit, 100 horsepower now. I did a lot of stuff to it.
That thing wake it up.
It did. It woke it
Yeah.
up. That thing gets off the ground quick now. You can definitely tell the difference.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a fun little airplane.
Yeah. So one of my favorite videos, I was scrolling through YouTube. This is before I ever started anything. And I was going through there and I saw this dude said delivering salsa to Texas or something like that. I can't remember what the title was.
Salsa delivery or something. I don't remember.
Yeah. It was wild. And I'm like, what? So I click on it and it was you. And I'm like, man, I got to watch this dude. Like ever since then, all your videos have been awesome. And I remember you saying that you don't do like all of the fancy editing stuff or whatever, like color matching. But I just love the raw footage that you put out there and the way you edit your stuff together and put the music in there. The music's always on point. Man, it's great videos. Yeah.
That's actually the hardest part of the whole video, is finding the music.
Is it really?
It really is. Yeah.
I guarantee it.
It really is. I say that to my buddies that also have YouTube channels, and they're like, I know, it's the hardest part. But thank you. I really enjoy it. I love the editing process. It's a lot of fun. And I want to be able to go back, 15, 20 years and watch these little trips and journeys that I went on,
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the reason that I wanted to start this is I want people to be able to go back and see their family and loved ones that, used to fly or used to do this and talk about it. And then maybe it'll spark a little interest for somebody later on down the line,
Absolutely.
And it really shows that aviation isn't just a closed knit community. We are in the sense that you'll help out anybody in the community, but we're not as in the sense that you have to be upper echelon to get in.
Exactly. It's a cool group and a fun group to be around. Good group of guys and gals.
Yeah. So let's go on to talking about your 7-Up ranch, because I that is a dream of mine to have my own airstrip, invite people out to fly in and just hang out and have a good time. 7-Up Ranch, I've watched it from the beginning when you started making it to this last May? May. You had a fly-in, right?
Yeah. I had one just 3 weeks ago. Have you seen that one yet?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, the one where you're flying sideways. Yeah.
Yeah, that was scary. No, 7-Up Ranch started out My dad bought that land when we were young, like back in the '80s, early '80s, and we've had it forever. Never really did anything with it. Got there, do some hunting and fishing. Uh, but when I got my Kitfox, I asked him, can I build a landing strip out there? I didn't know if he's going to let me or not because there was a big fence going right through the middle of it in a ditch, and he was out there with the big cab tractor and the brush hog mower, and he's like, well, you got to take that fence out. So I start ripping this fence out with my buddy, and I look up, and he's already mowing the path all the way down the middle of the field on where the runway is going to be. So
That's awesome.
Where the runway is now, that's where he wanted it. So I'm like, I guess we're doing this. So we ended up bringing a bulldozer out and filling in and leveling things out, and we worked hard on it, and it's not where I want it to be yet. It's going to get some improvements. I'm going to actually cut in a nice north-south runway, probably about 500 feet, since we definitely need it for emergencies, kind of like we did a few weekends ago when we had all the wind. But it's going to get a few little upgrades, and I'm going to get a no-till drill and drill the seed into the ground instead of just broadcasting, because the grass isn't coming in as thick as I like. So it's going to look a lot better next year, I hope.
That's awesome. So, are you wanting to make the 7 Up fly-in like a annual thing for you and the buddies, or?
Yeah. This was
awesome.
Our fourth one. It started out just a few of us. I just sent a text, hey, you guys want to meet at the farm, go camp? And there were like about 6 of us. And we said, well, we need to do it a little bigger next year. And then the second year, there were about 19 planes. And then I think this last few weekends ago, there were 20, 25 planes or so. There would have probably been about 40, but the winds were gusting 22 to 24. I bet I had 15 people text me and say they can't make it, and I'm like, I don't blame you.
Right? Yeah.
So
Don't get
be
hurt trying to get in, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Everybody's welcome except for the armadillos, right?
Exactly. And people wonder why we shoot those, but they burrow these huge, deep holes. I don't know if you watched Jonas Marcinko's video. He did a video on the flying on 7 Up Ranch just a few weeks ago, and he has it on camera. They actually hit one of those holes with Brandon's tail wheel, and it could take the whole tail wheel off of an airplane, and they're just so thick out there.
Yeah, that's wild. They're also nasty. And
They are.
They can carry leprosy. I know. They're just gross animals, but yeah.
Yeah. We were sitting around the campfire actually, and one came barreling right through the camp and almost ran up Dave Rowe's leg. Well, we all scrambled. Yeah, they're just thick out there, and if they didn't burrow those holes, it wouldn't be as bad. But that's why we shoot them.
Yeah, that's fair. I wasn't asking any questions about it.
Yeah. I know you weren't, but I've had people comment and they don't like it, and I'm like, hey, you're not the one out here filling up these holes on the weekends. I am.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not the one dealing with the pest. If you want to come out and catch them, catch them all before they get in the way.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's right. That's funny, man.
Yeah.
So, how much? I know you said it took a lot of work, but about how much work do you think, in hours wise, have you put into 7 Up Ranch to get it to where it's at?
With the runway and the windsock and everything, oh shoot, I would honestly probably a couple weeks of full on work, dozer work, dirt work, ripping the fence out. It took quite a bit of manual labor to get that thing to where it is, and it's not finished yet.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, a lot of people don't think about how much work actually goes into something like that. And so the pride that you have at the end of it it's exponential for what everybody else gets,
It is. We enjoy it, and we're lucky. I'm glad my dad was let us build that airstrip, because we're enjoying it, and it's kind of a centrally located place, southeast corner of Kansas, for people to fly in. We had someone fly in from Colorado. Our buddy Mike from up in Wisconsin flew down. Wayne from Tennessee flew over. Dave from Austin flew up. So it's kind of centrally located, which is nice.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And maybe you could be like a stop on the way to Oshkosh or something for some of these guys.
That would be fun.
Like a good sleepover spot,
Yeah. Come on. Yeah, that'd be fun. Give me a reason to fly over there. It's about a 15, 16-minute flight from Pittsburgh for me to get over there, so it's not very far.
That's not bad at all. Yeah.
No. Unless you have a 45 mile per hour headwind, then I think I was in the air for an hour that night.
Whew.
It was tough.
Yeah. Well, at least you started with more fuel than what you needed, right?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. That's the next thing you have to get out there, some fuel drums, you know.
Right. Yep. Get a fuel truck out there or something.
That'd be wild.
It would be.
Yeah, man. So you hangar your planes, is it plural now?
Uh-huh.
So you still have the Kitfox?
I do. I do. Here in
Awesome.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
So you hangar your airplanes in Pittsburgh. Um, you did a lot of work to that initial hangar to like make it yours, right?
I did.
And now you have obviously two hangars because the Kitfox fit in one, but you ain't fit another airplane in there with it. So are
No.
you going to use your new hangar as your hangout spot, or are you going to stay with the old one?
So my new hangar where my Carbon Cub is, it's kind of the fixed up hangout spot, and poor old Kitfox got shoved over into the old storage hangar. So it's kind of on the back burner. I got to have the new Carbon Cub and the new fancy hangar.
I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how was that going from the Kitfox to the new Carbon Cub SS? Was that just like a night and day difference, or
Oh,
is it
night and
like the
day.
same plane with a little bit of difference?
Oh no, hands down, night and day. Just bigger, more comfortable. The wings are wider. You don't get beat around as much. It's steadier. It stalls a slower speed. It just all around, just night and day. It's a game changer, and I'm loving it.
Is it a little more stable on the ground since it's a little longer as well?
It is, yeah, yeah, it is,
That's
and it
awesome.
has the 3x3 gear and the big tires on it, so that's really nice.
That is really nice. Is your Cub an experimental?
It is. It's an experimental.
Awesome. So you can still
Yep.
do your own stuff to it.
Yep. Yep. It's a
That's cool.
2011. Yeah. And it's classified as experimental.
You went from the Kitfox to the Carbon Cub, new game, new level of game, I guess. Are you going to start showing us more gravel bar landings in the Carbon Cub now?
I am. I am. I hope so. Around here, we don't have a lot of options for that. There's some out west by Winfield. I'd like to go hit some of those. I flew over them on the way home, bringing my Carbon Cub home. It was in that video. I'd like to go hit those, but yeah, I definitely would like to. And I'm going to spend a lot more time down in Arkansas hitting those backcountry airstrips. That's one of my favorite places to fly to.
That's going to be the fun one. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a big trip, like I said earlier, coming up a week from today. I'm meeting a buddy down there, Jeff Harrell. He flies in the National Stole. He's flying up with his champ, and we're gonna have some fun.
That sounds awesome. Yeah. What is what's on the agenda for down there? Which airstrips you going to try to go
So
to?
we're gonna meet up at Gaston's, and
Okay.
we're gonna start out there, and we'll probably hit Richland Creek, maybe go down to Birds. We'll have to hit Trigger Gap. You can't go to Arkansas and not hit Trigger Gap, and maybe hit that Sandbar down there on the Arkansas River.
Well, that'd be fun.
Yeah, yeah, we might
I'm,
we might do that.
I'm looking forward to seeing that on video.
Yeah, yeah. I have cameras charged. It ought to be a good one.
Yeah.
Might even get some fishing done while I'm at Gaston's right there on the White River. That's one of the most famous fishing rivers in the United States, for trout. So I'm hoping to take my pole and get a little fishing in too.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw one of my other videos where I talked to Philip Sneed. We talked about all those Fly Oz airstrips down there. And I compare Trigger Gap to the Midwest Catalina just by the way it's set up.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's a good comparison.
I've always wanted to fly that down there to it. I've never actually been on Trigger Gap, but I've seen so many videos of it, and I've planned out cross countries to it. I don't know how many times, just because I want to go there. And I'm a nerd, so I have a flight simulator, and that's like always one of my favorite things to do is go hit those airstrips down there.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite places. When my buddy Brian Screws from Georgia, he and his friends came over here. I don't know if you saw that video, but I remember looking at him and he's just smiling and he's just grinning and just looking around like this. And I'm like, Brian, what do you think? And he's like, this is the best aviation trip I have ever been on. And we were at Trigger Gap when he said that, and
Yeah,
it's just so beautiful.
yeah, I remember that video. Brian's a great dude, man.
Great guy, one
Yeah,
of my good friends.
yeah, he's awesome. So
Great
he
guy.
actually is one of the reasons why I also reached out to you is because I was talking to him and he was telling me all about you, you know. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that guy sounds like a fun dude to talk to.
Yeah, yeah. Brian's a good guy. I like him. He has some good videos too. Brian puts
Uh,
out some really good content.
yeah, he does. Yeah. So with your Carbon Cub that you got flying now, you said you're going down and hitting some of those backcountry strips down in Arkansas. Are you going to leave the plane how it is and just get a bunch of hours in it? Or do you have some plans coming down the pipe for that as well?
It's all decked out with everything. There's only one thing I'm going to do. It came with an AV30 instrument, the U Avionics AV30. I'm going to install that since it came with the airplane. That would be nice. Have the indicated airspeed and the true airspeed, and that's pretty much it. It has everything. It's decked out. I don't need to really do anything to it, which is nice.
That is awesome.
I spent a lot of time, a lot of money on that Kitfox, and now everything's set up. I'm just ready to go fly.
Yeah, man. So now you got an airplane for whatever you want to do.
I do. I'm pretty fortunate. I am.
That's
I'm
awesome.
planning on keeping the Kitfox. I don't know yet, but I'm planning on keeping it. It's my first tailwheel airplane. Really, my first airplane I really loved and worked on. But I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence on what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. It's you don't want it to just sit there and rot, but you
Right.
also don't want to get rid of it. It's got a lot of sentimental value.
But I'll be definitely flying the Carbon Cub 90% of the time.
Oh yeah, I guarantee it. Yeah, you could probably haul way more in the Carbon Cub as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's faster and it's a nice airplane. I'm loving it so far.
That's good. Yeah, we joke that you bought the Carbon Cub because you needed to haul that stuff back down to birds flying that you did this year, and you couldn't do it in the Kit Fox. You just had to
Yeah,
upgrade.
yeah. You're right. I like that. I like that. That's my new one. Yeah, I have to be a good host, so I had to get a bigger plane.
There you go. That's a good excuse if I heard one, right?
Yeah, I like it. You can take credit for that too, but I'm gonna say it.
You say it all you want. One more question I got for you with the style of flying that you do, right? I love the style of flying you do. It's a huge thing right now that everybody likes. However, it comes with its own risks involved. Um, More so than just flying airport to airport. So one thing is what made you choose that style of flying? And then what kind of preparation did you do to make sure that you felt comfortable enough to do it?
That style of flying really, it's just kind of what you do in these small rural areas like we have here. Um, and so it's just kind of what you do at my age just for fun with your buddies. And so that's kind of really what got me into that and preparation, just good planning and talking, having a game plan before you go out. If a bunch of us are going to go to, let's say, the Sandbar from 7 Up Ranch, 3 or 4 at a time go first, and constant communication, where you are all the time, constantly on the radio. So everybody knows that your intentions and they're communicating their intentions as well.
That's cool, man. Whenever you guys fly in groups of 3 or 4, do you basically have one guy that's in the lead and he talks mostly as like, this is what's going on up here? Or is it just everybody saying, hey, this is what I see, this is what I see?
It's really pretty much everybody equally. This is where I am. Hey Dave, I'm coming up on your right. It's everybody just constant talk, constant communication. Hey, let me know when you land down there because I'm going to turn final and drop down in the river and things like that. So it's pretty fast pace, but you got to be safe and safety is priority.
I'm glad to hear it that, you got a good group of guys. They all kind of understand the mission and what they need to do to keep everybody else safe. Uh, Whenever you get new pilots that fly with you guys, is there ever any like, hey, this is what we expect from you? Don't feel pressured to land just because everybody else is kind of thing?
Yeah, we don't really say this is what we expect from you, but we do like let's say if we want to get someone closer in for a shot, we'll say, hey, if you feel comfortable, try to come on up, and if you don't, that's fine. We don't put any pressure on anyone, but it's all safe and fun.
That's good, man. That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
With your group of guys, I know you have all kinds of different airplanes. I saw there's another Kit Fox that's in your group.
yeah.
There's a couple, there's a Rans, there's a Citabria, there's all kinds of stuff that you guys got. What would you say would be the guy besides yourself now with the coolest airplane in the group?
My good buddy John McCardle, he just built one of the nicest Bearhawks I've ever seen ever in my life, and that I never was really a big Bearhawk fan, and before he built that, and Virgil's doing such a great job down there in Oklahoma. I would say that's and the paint scheme on it and everything that he did to it. It's just immaculate. And obviously, my Carbon Cub is my favorite, but John McCardle's his Bearhawk, that thing's unreal.
Yeah, Bird Dog. I just saw that last weekend at the National Steel Competition. Talked to John there, man. That airplane is amazing. It's
nice.
Crazy. I didn't realize how big it was until I got up close to it.
Yeah, it's huge.
It doesn't look like it though. He takes off basically like the Cubs do on the videos, you know.
Yeah. He's insane. a good pilot and a good dude, man. So that's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah. Have you got a ride in that one yet?
No, we meant to down in Texas, but we ended up having fun and hanging out, and we kind of forgot about it. But he did tell me, he's like, "Hey, we need to jump in here," and I'm like, "All right," and we kind of forgot. But and he was on his way to my fly-in, and I think he was having some fuel pump issues, and he turned around and went back, and so he was kind of bummed out that he missed out. But it's all right; he'll be here again for next year.
Yeah, he told me that he had some fuel pump issues and literally just got it fixed the day before the competition, which is wild, man. And he still went out there and put down some hard numbers.
He did. He's a good pilot. It looked great. Like you guys had a good time up there. He texted me and he's like, "Hey, you coming up?" But I couldn't make it. I had some stuff going on. I was going to come up there.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to get together sometime as well. We'll get
absolutely
a big group of people coming around. I'm going to get back in the air here soon myself. So hopefully I can meet up with some people doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But, and if I'm ever up your way, let's link up and I'll take you for a spin in the old Carbon Cub.
Oh, that would be awesome. I've never actually been in I've been in a Super Cub, but never an experimental Cub.
Yeah. I'll take you up. You're not too far. You're just right up the road from me.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. That'd be awesome. What is one of your favorite, destinations to fly to other than Gadsden's in Arkansas that you go to quite often?
Other than that, really, 7-Up Ranch. That's one of my favorite places to go to, because it's close. I can go do a lot of touch and goes and practice and practice some crosswind landings over there. We have a nice big windsock, and it doesn't take too long to get there. But Arkansas is definitely by far the nicest place and the most fun. And it's only, hour and a half to Birds, hour to Trigger Gap. So it's close and it's right here in our backyard. And we're really lucky to have all those places to go fly to.
Yeah, that's awesome. A lot of people overlook the Midwest when they think about backcountry flying, but I agree with you. There's plenty of good places. You just got to know where to go.
Yeah, you do. And that Birds Backcountry Flight Festival is one of the funnest events I've ever been to next to Oshkosh. It's amazing. So if you've never been, you should probably try to go.
Yeah, I've never been to that one either. I saw it this year. It blew up. I know the last couple of years it was big, but this year it was insane.
Yeah, I think there were 85 airplanes there.
That's insane, man. That's wild.
Yeah, but it was a good time.
Yeah. They were featured on, I think, AOPA's channel at one point. Did you see that?
I did. Yeah. And it's a great place to fly to. The amenities down there and the restaurant right on the river. It's amazing.
Yeah. Right on, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Do you have anything else that you'd like to say to people? Something?
Thanks. Oh, just fly safe. That's it. Yeah. And thanks for having me on. I've been meaning to get on here for a while. Sorry it took me so long.
Hey, we're all busy. I get it, man. Yeah. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah. And let's try to link up and do some flying soon.
Heck yeah, man. That'd be good. If you guys don't already follow him, follow David Wykoff on YouTube. He's got Instagram and I believe TikTok.
Yeah, I do a little TikTok. I have Facebook and Instagram mostly. I do. Yeah. I'm on TikTok every now and then.
I'll put the link in the description stuff, and everything that I put out there, I'll tag David in. But make sure you follow him. He's got some great content.
Yep. Hit me up if you have any questions. Yeah. Maybe I can help.
Yeah. All right. Well, David, thanks for coming
on here, man. It was awesome. It was nice to meet you finally, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. And as always, folks, success starts with a positive attitude.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe.